Today's episode of Davis and Chace is sponsored by Anchor Fitness. Anchor Fitness is a veteran-owned small business dedicated to helping others through OCR and fitness coaching. Rich from Anchor Fitness is an ISSA certified fitness trainer, exercise therapist, and nutrition specialist who's passionate about helping people overcome the obstacles that stand in the way of being the best version of themselves possible. Having overcome many personal injuries himself, he understands the unique challenges related to physical fitness disabilities and limitations. He personally reached out to me to let me know that he helps improve his clients' overall physical health, but also their mental well-being by building a support system and community around his training techniques. If you are in New Mexico and you're anywhere near this guy, I want you to go check him out. It's Anchor Fitness. That's anchorfitabq.com. Every journey begins with the first step. And if you like fitness and you like Breaking Bad references and you want to hang out in Albuquerque, go see this guy. He wants to take those steps with you as the premier OCR fitness coach in New Mexico. That's anchorfitabq.com. That's anchorfitabq.com. Okay, let's focus, Josh Chace. Welcome back. Welcome back to Obstacle Discourse with Davis and Chace. I'm Mappy Davis. That's Josh Chace.
What's happening, my friend?
I'd like to be able to pronounce your name, Josh Chace.
For some reason, Josh and Chase is very difficult to say together. So if you go like with my full name, Joshua Chase, it flows much better. Please don't call me Joshua Chase, though. But I think just the sh and the ch tends to be a little bit of an oral hurdle for most people.
That was one of my favorite Dodger pitchers, Oral Hurdle. Back in the 80s.
Oral Herdinger? Hershiser?
Yeah, were your parents not thinking?
I mean, it's not like everybody has the problem with it. Some people have a problem saying it. Josh Chase. It's not that hard. Josh Chase.
Are you an only child?
No, I have an older brother.
Is his name Chase Chase?
Jesus Christ. No, it's not. His name is Eric Chase.
Okay. Obstacle racer? Not an obstacle racer?
Not an obstacle racer.
Ever come out with his baby bro?
No. No, that'd be funny, though. He lives in California. He actually does not live too far from Heather Bodie. So, actually, that's a lie. I don't even know where Heather Bodie lives. I know she lives in California.
I was under the impression she lived closer to San Diego, but she lives closer to Temecula. Let's get in with the damn show. What are we doing here?
Okay. Yeah, let's go. Geography Corner.
Tough Mudder's back, ladies and gentlemen.
And we're back.
And we're back. Love those guys. So yeah, everything you've heard so far, event was great. It just felt different. It's something I can't quite put my finger on. Other than possibly, maybe it was Will Dean, with a stick up his butt the whole time was the problem. I mean, there seems to be, there was such a refreshing feeling going on. And it wasn't just that the course was good, just everything about it felt really great. And I think the employees felt it too, and that's why. So check out a Tough Mudder near you. And I told them, and you're going to hear me talk about it on the podcast when it comes out. Sorry, it's late, guys. They still have to do it every weekend because if they show up to your town and screw it up, then people are going to be like, yep, they still suck, not give them another chance. So they need to hit a home run in every city this year.
Yeah, and I saw some quick anecdotal reviews in our podcaster group saying the TM CEO was a great personality, super optimistic, maybe just had personality, and that's what separates him from Will Dean. I never had the chance to meet or talk to Will Dean, but everything I hear is that he was a robot wearing human skin. So you never know. I hope it's a great season for him. The competitive piece obviously sucks, but they're going to focus on what the core business is, and we all know what that is.
Yeah, but I think if they could just get money back to WTM, hopefully this year, but even by next year, I think kind of all will be forgotten. You know what I mean? I think it'll be like, oh, well, we still have WTM, and this toughest thing was cool for a couple years, the little feeder system. Tougher never made sense to me. Don't know why they ever did it, even though it gave me a job. I got to do the cool Facebook thing. It didn't make sense to do a I mean, I would do it just to let people, just like they do for Rugged and Warrior, hey, go out and time yourself. You want to see if you can finish first, go for it. But to make it a thing with money and regional championships just never made sense for them as a brand.
Yeah, and they, I think they sort of got sucked into the whole competitive space because everybody else was doing it. And I think now they maybe understand that that wasn't necessarily their jive, and perhaps they just got to focus where they need to focus. There's a great, if anybody follows legendary OCR photographer Bob Mulholland on Facebook, there is a video of him completing electroshock therapy, and it is cringeworthy to watch that poor man get shocked about 76 times as he tries to navigate this thing, because they used to just have like one hay bale that you could like step over and run through. Now they had like a hay bale wall that you actually had to climb over, and you could just hear the zaps hitting the poor guy. So it'll be I think it'll be a good season for Tough Mudder. They've got their next event comes up in Texas in early May in College Station. That's always a pretty well attended one for them. So, and they're giving $10 and $25 off respectively any events. So go sign up.
What are you, Mr. fucking coupon corner over here? What are you doing?
Yeah, I am coupon corner Josh. I was just looking at the website and they have a $10 and $25 off code. So
I want to add I was in such the Tough Mudder spirit that I actually did electroshock therapy for the first time in about 5 years. I never do it. It like knocked me down really hard at Worlds a few years ago, and I was like, I'm skipping it from now on. Even if I have a new person, you like make the new person do it because it's like their virgin trip. But I had a new guy, Adam Castro, who I'd gone running with earlier in the week, and I said, you got to do it. And he didn't look too happy. I was like, all right, I'll do it with you. So real quickly, the last thing I want to mention is the whole level up lanes was great. They figured out a way to do it for like way more than before, where they just did sort of the Legionnaires only thing. It just made it a cooler thing. And some places I tried it, like Augustus Gloop. Some place I didn't try it, like Entrapment, which was the regular Entrapment was you crawl under and there's a few little tiny electric shock wires, and the level up lane was all the wires. So
I saw the picture of that, and that was not at all appetizing to me.
But people were doing it, and they were like, ah, like lunacy. But I think that just goes to show you, like, they're doing a really good job. I think plenty has already been said. I've got an episode to put out that no one's heard yet. That'll be more of that. Let's move on. What's the next item of business?
So speaking of races that aren't doing so well, our friends at Terrain Race have dropped the ball on pictures after promising that pictures would be fixed this year.
Oh my goodness. You know, the excuse that they put out was like, would it have been better if they didn't say anything? Do you want to read it?
I will read it. I just pulled it up. And it's very interesting to have like the Terrain Race brass in the Discord server talking about their product, right? So you have an instant connection to both Caleb and Bill Spada. And they come on and they explain themselves ultimately. So he said, Albuquerque pictures got messed up. There was a tech issue with the memory cards. Clearly they're not listening to Tech Corner. He says, photographers were there, but the cards we received didn't work. Really unfortunate. That's why we're trying with a new company where there's more accountability. We apologize.
And this is years of again, like the most basic timing in photo, like the things you have to get right, the things that are super simple. And they got rid of timing, so let's fix that problem. And then pictures has this like, whoops, the cards didn't work. Come on, guys. They
almost gave us a glimmer of hope when they delivered pictures like 4 days later after one of their events.
But then the other thing is they still haven't, like for Georgia, I don't think we ever got the Saturday pictures. It was like the Sunday and Saturday just Facebook only, like the highlights pictures went out. But then like the entire day never did. Like I was going to look for myself and I never did. I never got to see it. So we're trying to pull for you here, Terrain. Get it together.
We're trying.
Speaking of though, please, if you haven't, I know we've said this already, but please go listen to OCR Talk, where they make fun of me and Josh and many others. And when they said, how do I get internet in my car? Well, you take the thing and you plug it into the thing, and then you do the other thing.
They want to watch TV in the car. That's what it was.
Oh, right.
I want to watch TV in every room. I want to watch TV in my car. I promptly sent them a follow-up and said, you actually can watch TV in your car with our great stream app. So,
good stuff.
Excellent stuff. Jason Dupree is currently giving it to Mr. Terrain Race in the channel currently because he's really pissed about this $5 pack and pickup scam. And he took screenshots of the website and said, you mention it nowhere. Here's the FAQs. You don't mention it anywhere there. So, yeah. But, that algorithm, it's tested. It's proven to work.
All right, what's next?
What is next?
You're
supposed to have the topips.
This is the fastest we've ever rifled through things. Usually
it's going to be a quick show.
I hope not. Everybody enjoys the longer episodes. Hang on, I'm going through our text feed.
This is quality audio for people who are listening.
You want to talk about who in Seattle?
Yeah, I'll talk about who in Seattle.
Okay.
I'm going to take an interesting stance. I'm taking a shot from the hip on this one.
Okay, I'm listening.
I'm going to go Ryan Kent.
Defending his race from last year, you mean? Didn't he win Seattle last year?
I don't know. I didn't base my opinion on that at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I think he did. I think he did. But go ahead.
Well, so I don't know if VJ's going to be there. Is VJ going to be there? You're obviously the expert on all things VJ Jones.
VJ's very. Can we talk about VJ snapping at me?
He did call you to the carpet.
But I think he misspoke. I think what he meant to say was talks out of his ass, but what he instead said was full of shit, which are two different things.
Very, very fine line between those two things.
But do you understand that? Don't you think that's what he meant? Full of shit means I think I'm lying. Talks out of his ass is like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I don't know if there's much of a difference between those two things. I get what he was. I get the target he was aiming at, no matter which combination of words came out of his mouth.
How about this? If VJ wins Seattle, I will say VJ is currently the best racer in the United States. How about that?
Wow. That's a bold move.
Because he will have proven himself.
Okay.
And if he comes in second or third, I will say what I have said before, which is that he is one of the best, but he is not the best. But if he wins, I will say he is currently the best racer. Because then there won't be any really sort of denying it, right?
I mean, there isn't already, but yes, there won't be for sure at that point.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm taking Ryan Kent for this one. I think it's going to be a sloppy, muddy, disgusting course. It looks like looking at all the previews that were out there. I'm psyched to see some live footage. I'll be at CitiField running around a stadium for the first time this year, getting my stadium on, and yeah, I think it'll be Kent's day.
I think anything can happen. I'm not even going to make a prediction. I'm excited for it. I'm not excited to be flying to the West Coast 2 weekends in a row after being gone for a week, but I've never been to that venue. Oh, hang on. Mic drop. Sorry, mic drop.
Not microphone noises.
Do you know what we get to see this weekend? Also?
What?
You got Stadium. You got Seattle frickin' points. We also get the real debut of Spartan Trail.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw Charlie Engel and old what's-his-face doing some Facebook Live stuff talking Spartan Trail. They released the map. A trail map is not as exciting as an obstacle course racing map. Well, I was like, oh shit, the map's out. Oh, right, it's just lines.
Well, have you seen they have an IG?
They do have an Instagram.
Because it's one thing Spartan needs. Spartan needs its more channels, right? And it showed somebody helping somebody up. One of the pictures was see if I can hold it up really. Here we go. So
it's not just a race; it's a community.
It's not just a race; it's a challenge. Wait, that's Tough Mudder.
No, it's a community.
I know, but I know, but I just realized that's very Tough Mudder. So agreed. I know you're looking at the same thing, but it's people pulling up people over a trail, and that looks like that would be you, Josh, if you didn't have any hair. That picture could be if you and I combined. It looks like a tall guy, but with my bald spot on the top. And then a guy with a color run shirt on. I don't know what's going on there. But the point is, what was I going to say? What the fuck was I going to say?
I don't
know. They convinced Charlie Engel and Louis Escobar, which some people know, and they also somehow convinced Scott Jurek, one of the most famous runners ever, because he was highly featured in the Born to Run book and has written 5 or 6 books of his own. They somehow convinced him. I don't know what kind of check that took to get him to be on for the ride, but he's going to be there, and fingers crossed I will get an interview with him.
I mean, I'm going to run a trail race just to check the box.
Yeah, of course.
I think I'm running Jersey. It's like the last one of the year, but I really have no.
Is that not a contradiction in terms? The Jersey Trail Race?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are mountains in Jersey. Obviously, we'll be there in a few weeks. But the only thing that would really keep me excited is just the swag. If I got the junk headband they used last year during the beta tests, I would do it. But I'm pretty sure we just get another, boring ass Spartan headband. The trail, and we've had this conversation, but the way that they're charging, not just for spectators, that's a whole group and elite trail races makes zero sense to me. If you want to win the trail race, then you should run no matter what, right? And we'll just separate it by here's the overall winners and here's the age group winners. Upcharging for things like that is ridiculous, but that's my 2 cents.
So wait, so there's an elite wave and an open wave?
There's an elite wave and an age group wave. There's no open wave.
Oh, I'm going to run age group, dude.
Which doesn't make any sense. Well, hang on.
Even though I'm somewhere between 5 and 9 pounds heavier than I've been recently, I'm going to run age group. See if I can snag myself a AG.
Hey, but your Strava speeds lately have been pretty damn good. That run you did out in California, that was okay, man.
What, the commercial thing that I shot and I was just running up and down the street? That one?
No, you did like a 6-mile run or something out there, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. We did some walking. But yeah, dude, I gotta drop some pounds. But no, I want to see if I can. I mean, it's gonna be very interesting to see who even comes out. Like, who is gonna do it? The fact that I don't know. Like, are any of the elites gonna stick around? I'm sure they're pushing some pro teamers. Hey, you got to show up, photo ops, etc. So, like, probably Kent will do it. He's the kind of guy that I think they get to do that kind of thing. I doubt Woodsy will, or the Atkinses. And although then again, the Atkinses do like running on the trails. Maybe they'll get them if they don't have to fly back to wherever. But I'm certainly curious to see it. And like I said, I hope I get an interview with Jerk. But I do want to say something though that maybe you can help me. Maybe you can help me because I'm not exactly sure. I've been to I've been to the recent Spartan races, Alabama, Jacksonville, and before that, Tahoe. I'm trying to think of some other races I've been to, and it's like, oh, you're going to run, Matt? And maybe I do, maybe I don't. And then I end up kind of never doing it, even though I say I'm going to. I definitely was not going to miss Tough Mudder. Like, people are saying, are you running? And I'm like, oh, hell yes. And so I think there's something there, meaning, like, I wanted to try those new obstacles, and I wanted to experience it, whereas with Spartan, it's kind of like, maybe I like Mudder more than Spartan. Like, I didn't even realize this about myself, but maybe I do because, like, I did not hesitate at all to do the Tough Mudder.
But I think that goes back to you also having less opportunities to run Tough Mudder, right? There are infinite numbers of Spartan races that you can run and have run recently. And I think with Tough Mudder, if it was your 4th Tough Mudder in the last year, I don't know that you'd have the same desire, right? This being the first one, I think it's a little different. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, you and I ran Tough Mudder, and it was super fun. Also, going back to our earlier conversation, Matt B. Davis made me run electroshock therapy, and I lost those 9 seconds of my life, and I'll never get them back. I ran through, I got my ass fucking handed to me on those zippy zap things, and I was down, blacked out. I was standing up, and then I woke up in the mud, and that was it.
Well, can I say that it was not just me, it was also Josh Grant, right?
It was also Josh Grant, yes.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure I don't take the plate. See, that was the old me. The new me was like helping the new guy. Like, see, the Tough Mudder got into me, the infection of the camaraderie thing. But I also thought about this morning that yes, there's also less to do. Like, I'm getting all the interviews, and there is no elites at Tough Mudder, and so I still knew I wanted to get content. But I don't know. Like, we'll see if I run Seattle. I mean, I want to do the trail, but maybe I'm sick of Spartan. I don't know.
Could be. Maybe you're burdened with an overabundance of Spartan, but it's a good opportunity to get in touch with all these people. So there's a lot of opportunities out there to get elites on the line and interviews and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty cool to be. I've never done this, gone to every race in the series, and it's even when they were just the TV races or whatever. Anyway, it's super exciting.
Also, speaking of Spartan pros, newly crowned Spartan pro Brian Gowitsky back to back Saturday and Sunday in Charlotte.
The king of the Carolina Spartan.
Yeah, he crushed it.
So way to go, old Brian. Very happy for him. I wonder if he's coming to Seattle.
Well, once again, further justifying my complaint that you should make a list of available participants. I know who's competing in the Masters starting tomorrow. Why don't I know who's competing in the Spartan U.S. National Series?
How do you know?
Because it's published.
Right, but it's not always right, though. I thought we've talked about this before.
No, I'm talking about the Masters. Like, that list is published and I can see it and look at it. Where Spartan Race, I can't see any of that crap.
You're talking about the event in Augusta, not the Spartan Masters.
Correct.
I thought you were talking about Masters age group.
No, I'm talking about the actual Masters golf.
Right.
One of the greatest sporting events of the year.
Correct. Just 100 or so miles from where I sit, but because they never know, because they kind of they'll post. They register. They used to register all the elites the pro team every time and just put them in.
Well, they still do. Like at Charlotte, Ryan Kent was on the list, and Nicole Miracle was on the list, and Atkins was on the list. Somebody's like, Atkins is going to take Charlotte. I'm like, I don't think Atkins is going to be there. So, yeah. I would love to fully speculate on who's going to be there, but it's hard to have a conversation and make predictions when you have no idea.
Well, what you should do is check ORM on Saturday morning, and I'll post a picture of the start line, and then you can quickly make your predictions. Wait a minute. Is there live coverage? Have they posted that?
They have not made any specifications about live coverage that I've seen. I don't know. I know Hammond did his Instagram stories and stuff, but I don't believe that they have called out. Matt and I, if you can't see us, are furiously checking our phones right now. And there is no call out in the last several Instagram posts at Spartan Race about, nope, it's all just muddy pictures from Charlotte. Charlotte might be one of the muddiest places I've ever been to in my life, by the way. Oh, can I tell a quick story? Can we go to Nature Corner for a second here? I'm going to give everybody some very important words of advice. So National Geographic has been doing this great series on, stay with me, this is going to take a minute, but I'll get through it. National Geographic is doing this whole series on the national parks in America, and they have one on the Everglades and Olympic up in Washington, blah, 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 blah. So I watched the one about the Everglades, and they do this whole expose about an alligator who's defending its home from predators, blah, blah, blah. And what they call out is that some human being in the 80s released a boa constrictor into the Everglades. Now, it's not naturally there, so it doesn't have any natural predators, and boa constrictors are taking over the Everglades. Okay? So I'm watching this, and it's this whole storyline about alligator, boa constrictor, they're going to fight, blah, blah, blah. Boa constrictors are everywhere, and they're talking about how they're moving into the Alabamas, they're moving into Georgia, they're in South Carolina, they're even in North Carolina. So I am running the Spartan Race in Charlotte on Saturday. I'm at about mile 5. And I come along, we're in this creek bed. I pop out of the creek bed, and I come along what appears to be a baby boa constrictor in the trail in front of me. And it looked like it had been stomped on because it was in the mud. And I was like, oh, shit, look at this, baby boa constrictor. And I picked the thing up, and I put it in my hand, and I show it to the guy next to me. And I was like, no word of a lie. I was just watching this. Now, this is probably why I lost 2 spaces or 2 positions at the end of the race. But I was just reading how boa constrictors are taking over around here. And I looked at it before I put it down, and I was like, that's oddly colored. I don't remember those being like that. And when I took it by the tail and I placed it down, I noticed its head. I said, okay, I'm going to go back. I finished the race. The first thing I do is I go to my phone and I Google snakes of South Carolina. I picked up a baby timber rattlesnake, and I placed it in my hand, and I did not I didn't even think twice because I was just an idiot kid who grew up in the woods and used to grab snakes all the time, not realizing what happened to our friend Dustin Theroux. I could have had my ass beaten by this baby timber rattlesnake. Don't pick up snakes when you're on the trail. Avoid them at all costs.
Let's see, I think this is a great lesson, though. You've given us a great lesson, Josh, because you had no fear, right? So the animal did not sense fear, and it just went along with you. If you had freaked out, the animal would have freaked out.
Well, here's the thing. One, I think the animal was half on death's door because I think it had been stepped on a few times. What I learned is adult rattlesnakes will shake their rattle and try and get away from you. They will flee before they fight. Baby rattlesnakes don't have that instinct. They will bite everything that touches them.
So you got a nearly dead one.
I got a nearly dead one, I think.
But I want to back up here talking about because you've put a thought in my head about when you said when we ran New Hampshire together a couple years ago, and this goes back to like how I enjoy my obstacle races, and not even 9 out of 10, it probably like 89 out of 100, maybe 99 out of 100. I just don't compete. I do it because it's fun. So I ran this Tough Mudder with my friend Harley, who, not his real name, but he runs, anytime I'm on the road with the Tough Mudder, he's the guy with the giant beard. And so it was me, and he'd already run as a tougher in the morning. It was me, him, and my friend Adam, who'd never done one. And when you run with, anytime you run with a brand new person, that's great because you're kind of seeing it through their eyes. Like, watching him like try to go up Everest. Everest 2.0 was a little bit higher, by the way. I think somebody gave me a hard time for getting help, but I did the higher one.
I did.
But I really enjoyed that, right? Just like if I was going to run with you, I would run with you, not the age group. Now, a few times a year, like I said, there's races that make me want to go really hard. Lately, they've been like half marathons, but like obstacle racing, and I think that's why I haven't been in a hurry to do a Spartan, because it's like it's either going to be by myself, or by myself. Whereas like if you and I were like, okay, we're going to get like let's say you ran age group in the morning, it was a sprint, let's say, and then I was like, hey Josh, you want to run with me? Then I'd have fun. Obstacles would be fun. You and I would be talking, and it'd be fun. But I haven't had anybody to run a loop with me. I think that's why.
Yeah, and I think when you talk fun factor, there's no comparison, right? Tough Mudder is more about we bring the fun to life. If anybody can shoot me a message and name what that movie is, that quote that movie is from, I'll give you a high five next time I see you.
We bring the fun?
We bring the fun. Wait, maybe it's we bring the funny. I don't know. Send me a message and correct me, because chances are you probably already know and you're yelling at your podcast device. When it comes to fun, Tough Mudder has Spartan Race by a long shot. I think that's where their focus is. And then they lost that focus and went to the competitive side of things, and maybe the fun either went away a little bit or they lost focus on the fun. Spartan Race is more about the competitive side and suffering through things that you would normally consider miserable, right? Carrying heavy shit, throwing spears, doing burpees, crap like that. You don't have any of that in Tough Mudder. So you can spend time talking with friends on the course, meeting new people, right? You're not trudging up a mountain completely out of breath. I think there's obviously a place for both of them. And for me, I've had years where my year has been a focus on a certain aspect of racing. It could be the fun laps, right? Just going out and doing fun things and helping new people. It could be just focusing on the endurance side of things. For some reason this year, I'm all in on the competitive side of Spartan. So running age group to me is what's making it fun. And seeing my name on their well-managed leaderboard and updated stats and things, that's of interest to me right now. Will it stay that way? Probably not, but that's where I'm at now. So,
well, interesting though, because I think it really does depend where you're at. But as you were saying that, I was like, oh well, I feel like Savage does kind of both. Like Savage is a competitive race, yet like they do have the big fun, obstacles.
I'll be down at Savage in 4 weeks, and I'm super excited to check out their obstacles. I'm just running fun laps on both Saturday and Sunday, and you'll see some coverage from me there because I'm psyched to try their stuff. I love their obstacles.
Well, dude, you would have a good chance of age grouping there, I think.
I probably would, but we're driving a shitload the night before, and we're not going to get there until like 2 a.m. And I'm not, sorry. I know those are excuses, Matt. Don't criticize me.
I'm not criticizing you. I'm just like, I'm not criticizing you.
No, Molly and I are just going to go and run those and have some fun. And I don't know also if I could jump off Davy Jones's locker very quickly. I think it's going to take me some time. So we'll see.
Molly,
it's been 2 years.
Molly, if you're listening, just push him. Just.
Thankfully, she doesn't listen.
I got Stacy to do it, and Stacy's terrified, and I got Stacy to do it. Although I did kind of pull her. I did kind of do 1, 2, 3, and didn't let go, and she was trying to pull me back. So
that's a recipe for disaster. I am planning on just walking up to it, holding my nose, and jumping. But I don't want to spend the next 4 weeks thinking about it. So let's not talk about it anymore. Otherwise, I'll get nervous.
Holding my nose. Holding my nose. Oh my God, Josh.
Yeah. Because last time I did it, I got a fucking nose enema.
No, I also hold my nose and people make fun. Like those awesome coming down the slide at the end photos that everybody gets are totally ruined because I'm like doing this, and it's much more fun to be like wee.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
so
All right. Any last thoughts before we end this? This is like the shortest one we've had in weeks.
one final prediction. How many people do you think Isaiah is going to knock down at CitiField this weekend while he's running on the course?
Oh, I thought you were gonna bring up $1 Million Mile.
Oh, we didn't even talk about poor $1 Million Mile.
Poor $1 Million Mile.
Do you think $1 Million Mile makes it through the end of its season, or do they just cut ties and bail after the next 2 episodes?
Well, you didn't hear already that they've already pushed it.
No, that's what I'm saying. So for those that don't know, $1 Million Mile is now off Wednesday nights. It did not pull the ratings that they needed. It got less than 3 million viewers, and it's now relegated to Saturdays at 8 p.m., which is where TV goes to die.
But it's also 2 months from now. It's not Saturdays at 8 p.m. now. It's Saturday at 8 p.m. like 2 months from now.
It's not as of like this episode. Yeah, CBS moves Amazing Race premiere up a month, bumps $1 Million Mile to Saturdays. So CBS said the new iteration of The Amazing Race will premiere 9 p.m. Wednesday, April 17th. It had been set for May 22nd originally. So $1 Million Mile is now moved. It is not being broadcast next weekend. It will be next Saturday.
I think it's in May, dude.
I don't think it's in May.
Well, I'll hold. Go look. I'll edit this part.
I'm reading it. CBS said today the new iteration of The Amazing Race will premiere at 9 p.m. Wednesday, April 17th. It had been set for May 22nd. With that move, the network has banished LeBron James's $1 Million Mile from its Wednesday time slot to Saturdays after just 2 episodes. Pulling up my handy dandy
You work in
TV Guide app.
You work in television. Yeah, look at the TV Guide while I look at more news.
You got Survivor, and then at 9 p.m., NCIS tonight.
Okay, now go to next week.
So,
can you go to next week?
I don't know if I'll have that far out. Let's see. I don't have the Saturday yet because it's too far out. But $1 Million Mile could not pull the ratings. Even with one Hunter McIntyre, it could not be saved. And so I blame this fully on Tim Tebow. Yet another failure by Mr. Tebow. He failed at football. He failed at baseball. He failed as a TV host. Matt is furiously looking through ratings.
So far, we're right.
No, I'm right. You're wrong. You thought this was going to happen in a month. It's happening now. There is no $1 Million Mile on TV tonight.
The show will be moving to Saturday nights beginning May 4th at 8 p.m. So,
well, then what did they do? Just take it off the air? It's not on TV tonight.
Right. The show will be moving to Saturday nights beginning May 4th. I told you. They're holding it.
Who knows if it ever comes back?
We just wasted 5 minutes to prove that I'm right, which I always am. And listeners hate us, and I don't care because I'm right. Now the question is it one of those like when a race gets rescheduled and then it kind of never does? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
Right now it's penciled in for a month from now, May 4th, about a month. And then it's like, come May 4th, they're going to be like, well, we've got this new thing with, I don't know.
Maybe it'll go right to streaming on BR Live or something.
All right, I got no text back about whether Spartan is going to be on live coverage or not. I'm going to go with yes, right?
I would think so. I mean, in Seattle, they've got to have cell phone service out there, so I'd hope so. I mean, they have done correct that. I don't know if they did Seattle Live last year, but they've obviously filmed it. They filmed it at NBC races and stuff in the past.
All right, so I'm headed to Seattle. Where are you headed this weekend, CitiField?
CitiField for Stadion, and then catch me on Sunday at the Boston Marathon Fitness Expo.
For Spartan or for Universal?
For my own hanging around, picking up free swag. Molly will be working at the Tailwind booth, so if you're in Boston, go say hi at the Tailwind booth.
Dude, we didn't even talk about you winning a game system, but let's save that for next week.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was really exciting.
Yeah, we'll go to Nerd Corner next week. We'll start the show off right.
All right, dude. Talk to you soon.
Peace out, my friend.
It's my new. Well, what was that? Oh, he went away. I don't even know what that was.